In this video, we're going to discuss the stratified sampling technique. Stratified sampling is a method for selecting a random sample used to ensure that subgroups of the population are represented adequately. It is used when our population is naturally divided into groups or layers. For example, if we look at population of the United States, it's naturally divided into different 50 states. So some states are smaller than others, some states are bigger than others. So we would select a bigger group from larger states and smaller groups from smaller states. So, but we want each state to be represented. Another example is if we look at students, college students, let's say students of Mesa College, they're naturally divided into different majors. So we could select a certain number of students from each major proportionally. So as you can see in this picture, we have 3 blue members, 3 green members, and 6 red members, which is twice as big a number as for blue members or green members. So when we select a sample, we select twice as many red members as blue or green members. So here's a picture that represents this sampling technique. So we have a population which has, in this case, it has 2 different types, 2 different groups. We have blue and the green. So each group is called strata. So we divide this population into those 2 groups, and then we select proportionally from each group. So the blue group is larger, so we have more people selected from that group, and and the green group is smaller, so we have fewer people selected from the group. We call this type of population that's naturally divided into groups heterogeneous. Okay, so the procedure, the formal procedure. Step 1, you divide the population into 2 subpopulations, not necessarily 2. In case with states, it was 50, right? But if we're talking about genders, well, we no longer by gender have 2 genders, so that's not a good example. Anyway, we could think of if we think about college students, we could think about freshmen as a separate group, and then seniors as the next group, so forth. Okay, so we divide the population to subpopulations called strata. Step 2, from each stratum, obtain a simple random sample of size proportional to the size of the strata. So the size of each strata is basically lowercase n divided by larger case n is the proportion of a sample, the percentage of the sample compared to the size of the population, and then you multiply by the size of each strata. So you do this calculation for every strata, and that gives you the number of the sample size from that stratum. And then step 3, you're going to use all the members obtained in step 2 from each stratum to combine into a sample. So for example, the principal of a high school wants to survey the opinion of the students, and the students are naturally divided. Has a total of 1,000 students, and among those he has 400 freshmen, 300 sophomores, 200 juniors, and 100 seniors. So the sample size that he wants is 100. 100 divided by 1,000 will be 1 out of 10. So we multiply 1 out of 10 by 400. That gives us 40 freshmen. And then 1 out of 10 from 300 sophomores gives us 30 sophomores. 1 out of 10 of 200 juniors gives us 20 juniors, and 1 out of 10 out of 100 seniors gives us 10 seniors. So our sample will consist of 40 freshmen, 30 sophomores, 20 juniors, and 10 seniors, which will combine into 100. All right, stratified sampling has its advantages and disadvantages, just like any other procedure. So advantages is the procedure ensures a high degree of representativeness of all the strata or layers in the population. The disadvantages of this technique is it could be time consuming and tedious. So that was stratified sample, and next we're going to talk about voluntary response sample.